My dear students, in this class, we are going to learn about the factors influencing adsorption. So, before you get into this topic, let us recollect uh, what is meant by adsorption, the difference between adsorption and absorption, the difference between physisorption and chemisorption we have learned in the previous class. You know, adsorption is nothing but accumulation of gases or liquids over the surface of solid. This takes place by surface forces. Adsorption is to be carefully distinguished from absorption. Adsorption is a surface phenomenon, whereas absorption is a bulk phenomenon. So adsorption takes place only at the surface, whereas adsorption takes place through the interior or bulk of the substance. The example of adsorption is accumulation of water vapors on charcoal or silica gel. The example of absorption is absorption of water or ink by charcoal or a calcium chloride. The difference between physisorption and chemisorption. Physisorption takes place by physical forces like van der Waals forces, whereas chemisorption takes place by permanent covalent bonding established between the adsorbate and adsorbent. Okay, adsorbent is the solid surface, again adsorbate is the gas or a liquid. Okay, physisorption is a reversible process, okay, which upon heating the adsorbate molecule goes away, whereas chemisorption is an irreversible process. Once a chemical bonding or covalent bonding is established between adsorbate and adsorbent, then the desorption never takes place. Okay, physisorption releases low amount of heat. Okay, whereas chemisorption acquires more amount of heat, nearly 40 to 400 kilojoules per mole. Okay, physisorption results in multimolecular layer of adsorption, whereas chemisorption results in monomolecular layer of adsorption. Okay. And now, what are the factors influencing adsorption? So, adsorption can be influenced by three major factors. One is temperature, and number two is pressure, number three, nature of adsorbate and adsorbent. Nature of adsorbate and adsorbent. So let us see this one by one. What is the influence of temperature on adsorption? Okay. So we have learned in physisorption that upon increasing the temperature, the adsorption decreases, because at higher temperature the molecule detach away. Okay. Similarly, upon increasing the pressure, the adsorption increases, because increase of pressure leads to accumulation of molecule closer and closer to the surface of solid. So therefore, you have more tendency or more feasibility of adsorption to take place on the surface of solid. Okay. So the influence of temperature is, upon increasing the temperature, the adsorption decreases, whereas upon increasing the pressure, the adsorption increases. Okay, but let us see the influence of any one factor, either by keeping the pressure constant or by keeping the temperature constant. Okay, so if you keep the temperature constant and want to study the influence of pressure on the amount of adsorption take place on a particular system, then it is called adsorption isotherm. Okay, you have to learn what is meant by an isotherm. Iso means constant or stable. Therm means temperature. Adsorption that takes place at constant temperature is called adsorption isotherm. So at constant temperature, the variation of adsorption is studied with the variation of pressure is called adsorption isotherm. At constant temperature, the variation of adsorption studied at varying pressure is called adsorption isotherm. Okay, it is simply a graph, merely a graph showing the amount adsorbed at one axis amount adsorbed in the y-axis and pressure in the x-axis, okay, by keeping the temperature constant. So this graph, okay, is called a adsorption isotherm. Okay, so how the effect will be upon increasing the pressure at constant temperature, the adsorption naturally increases. Adsorption naturally increases. Okay, so this graph or a curve which is called adsorption isotherm. Okay, so you can see there is a steep increase in the beginning, and as the pressure increases, there is a saturation. Okay, so this will be a common phenomenon in adsorption isotherm. Let us see the reason in the later classes. Okay, and if the same system is studied at varying temperature, varying constant temperature, say for example, I study the system at 0 degrees centigrade and I study the same system at minus 17 degrees centigrade. I study this at minus 28 degrees centigrade. Minus 26 or 28 degrees centigrade. Okay, so the same isotherm, adsorption isotherm, studied at a different temperature. Okay, this is a normal is an example of adsorption of ammonia on charcoal. Okay, so now you can see three different adsorption curves, whereas upon fixing 0, minus 17, 26, I mean lowering the temperature results in yields in greater extent of adsorption. Okay, so adsorption is very high at a very low temperature. So this graph can explain you both the influence of temperature and pressure on adsorption. Okay, is it clear? Now we shall move on to the next factor, influence nature of adsorbate and adsorbent. Do you recollect what is meant by adsorbate? Adsorbate is nothing but the gas or liquid which are adsorbed over the surface of a solid. Okay, so how should be the nature of adsorbate? How should be the nature of gas or liquid? Okay, so adsorption is studied for different type of gases and vapors. Say for example, hydrogen chloride, ammonia, water vapors, nitrogen, hydrogen, chlorine on particular solid material, and they observed that certain gases like permanent gases, okay, which are very difficult to be liquefied, like nitrogen and hydrogen, results in very low adsorption. Okay, whereas temporary gases like hydrogen chloride vapors, water vapors, ammonia, and they get a greater extent of adsorption. Okay, so permanent gases results in low adsorption, whereas temporary gases result in very high adsorption. The reason is the temporary gases or vapors possess greater van der Waals force of attraction. Okay, whereas permanent gases possess almost very less van der Waals force of attraction or nil van der Waals force of attraction, and hence temporary gases can give you better adsorption. Okay, and how should be the nature of adsorbent? Adsorbent is nothing but the solid surface over which gases or liquids are getting absorbed. Okay, so how should be the solid surface? The solid should be bulk or finely powdered. It is observed that finely powdered substance possesses greater extent of absorption than bulk or solid lump. Okay, the reason is when you make a substance into fine powders, you will find greater surface area. The surface area increases, whereas lump, when compared to lump substance or bulk substance, so as the surface area increases, the amount of absorption is also very high. Okay, so the powdered substance results in greater amount of absorption. Okay, and now the other factor is the pressure. So how to how to study the amount of absorption by keeping the pressure constant. Okay, so keeping amount of absorption when it is studied at by keeping the pressure constant. The earlier case we have made a temperature constant. Here we keep this pressure constant. Okay, so the graph drawn by keeping the pressure constant with the variation of temperature, the amount of absorption studied is called absorption isobar. Absorption isobar. Iso means constant. Bar is a term used to signify the pressure. You might have heard about barometer. Okay, like so. Absorption isobar is a graph drawn between amount of absorption against to temperature with constant pressure. Okay, so the amount of absorption decreases with the increase in temperature at constant pressure. Amount of absorption decreases with increase in temperature at constant pressure. There is another term called absorption isostere. Okay, here we keep the temperature and pressure and keep the amount absorbed a constant. Amount absorbed a constant parameter. Okay, so this type of graph we call it as a okay, let us put the temperature here and pressure. Okay, and this type of graph we call it as a absorption isostere. Okay, so the variation of pressure, the influence of temperature with the variation of pressure by keeping the amount absorbed a constant. Okay, so this graph is called absorption isostere. So we have learned three type of graphs. One is absorption isotherm, isobar, and isostere. Okay, so with this we understand the factors influencing the absorption. Okay, now let us pass on to the next topic, which is absorption of gases on solids. How to study the amount of absorption, or what are all the factors which influence the amount of absorption of gases on the solid. Okay, so by keeping some amount of vapors in a closed vessel, okay, in a closed vessel, and removing the pressure, okay, removing the vacuum, and then if you increase the temperature, okay, the amount of absorption decreases. Okay, so the variation of so similarly you can also vary the temperature and observe the we can keep the temperature constant and observe the pressure varying. Okay, so in a closed vessel, if you take some amount of some vapors, okay, and known weight of adsorbent, then if you monitor the pressure, there will be a decrement in the pressure. Okay, the decrement in the pressure can be measured with the help of a mercury manometer. Okay, so how do you know that whether the gases, vapors are getting adsorbed onto the surface of solid? Just by noting down the pressure. Okay, if the pressure drops down, okay, if the pressure drops down, then we can understand some molecules of vapors are adsorbed by the surface of a solid. Okay, so this is an experimental technique. So detailed experimentation can be learned from the reference books. Okay, and now what is the heat of adsorption? In the case of adsorption of gases on the solids. Okay, heat of adsorption is nothing but the amount of heat released or liberated during the process of adsorption. Amount of heat liberated or released during the process of adsorption. Why should heat is to be liberated or released during the process of adsorption? Because adsorption, during adsorption, the randomly distributed gaseous molecule comes and gets collected on the surface of a solid. So therefore, the entropy of the system decreases. Entropy of the system decreases from disorderliness to orderliness. So this decrease in entropy, okay, makes some surface energy of the molecule to get released. The surface forces are getting nullified, utilized. So this results in release of heat energy. So therefore, during adsorption, there will be a release of heat. Okay, so therefore, the process of adsorption can be called as an exothermic process. Okay, so what is the relationship between the heat of adsorption, and the free energy associated with the process of adsorption? So we know the popular Gibbs-Helmholtz equation, delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta L. G is the free energy, H is the enthalpy, S is the entropy, T is the temperature of the system. Okay, how should this parameter, okay, should be kept, okay, for an adsorption reaction? Okay, so for if delta G is negative, then you can say the process is spontaneous. Delta G negative means the process is spontaneous. Spontaneous means instantaneous, which occurs or takes place. If a delta G is positive, then the process is said to be non-spontaneous. Okay, so if delta G is equal to 0, then the process is said to be in equilibrium. Okay, so for the adsorption to take place, delta G should be, the resulting delta G should be negative. Then the adsorption will take place. Okay, and entropy, how about the entropy? So the entropy during adsorption, as I told you, decreases. From disorderliness, the molecule moves to an orderly manner. From disorderly or randomly distributed gaseous molecule occupies on the surface of a solid, it becomes an orderly one. So the entropy decreases. So minus delta S, we have minus delta S. So minus of this minus becomes a positive term. This entire term becomes a, if you have this minus term here, then the entire term becomes a positive one. Okay, then if this is a positive term, how should be the enthalpy to give you the total free energy negative? Okay, so if only this delta H is very high negative or high negative, if only this delta H is high negative, then only the delta H will be the delta G will be negative. Only then this process will be spontaneous by nature. Okay. So what we understand from this reaction is that though the free energy decreases, the heat liberated, the heat of adsorption will be very high negative. Okay. And that results in the spontaneity of the adsorption process. Okay. So the heat liberated, if the heat liberated is more, then the adsorption is more feasible by nature. Okay. So this class we have learned the factors influencing adsorption, and then the what is called the adsorption of gases on solids. Okay. So let us recollect factors influencing adsorption. There are 4 factors. One is called the temperature, another is called the pressure, another is called the nature of adsorbate and the adsorbent, and then influence of so for temperature and pressure, adsorption increases with pressure, decreases with the temperature. So by keeping any one parameter constant, okay, if you keep temperature constant and study the amount of adsorption against varying pressure, it is called isotherm, adsorption isotherm. And if you keep the pressure constant and study the variation of amount of adsorption against to variation of temperature, it is called adsorption isobar. Okay. So if you keep both the amount adsorbed constant and study the pressure with the variation of temperature, then it is called adsorption isosphere. Okay. And with respect to adsorption of gases on solids, so an experimental technique can be used to measure whether the adsorption takes place or not. Okay. In a closed vessel, you keep some known amount of water vapors or some vapors and keep the unknown amount of adsorbent like activated carbon, silica gel, alumina, Fuller's earth, something. And if you study at constant temperature, if you study the pressure, okay, then if the pressure falls down, then we understand that some adsorption process has taken place. Okay, and from that drop down of the pressure by relating its amount, then you can know how much of adsorption is being studied. Okay, and with respect to pressure, there is an equation called Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Okay. X by m is equal to k p power n. This is a very important equation called Freundlich adsorption isotherm. So at constant temperature, we are studying the amount adsorbed against x by m is the amount adsorbed. Okay, P is the pressure, K and N, they both are constants for a particular adsorbate and adsorbent. Okay, so this x by m can be noted as A is equal to K P power n. So the adsorption amount adsorbed increases with respect to pressure. Amount adsorbed increases with respect to pressure. Okay. So this relationship we call it as Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Okay. So just from the, you can use this formula in a system. So you can, by keeping this x by m constant, you can vary the pressure. Okay, or by keeping the pressure constant, you can study the x by m varying. So by either way, you can come to know whether the adsorption process is taking place or how much of adsorption is taking place, what is the amount of adsorbent used, okay, how much of adsorbate is being absorbed by the adsorbent. So everything can be calculated using the Freundlich adsorption isotherm. Okay, and with respect to the heat of adsorption, some heat is getting released. Amount of heat released During the process of adsorption is called heat of adsorption. Generally, adsorption is accompanied with the liberation of heat. Okay, so the reason is the reduction of surface forces. When molecule is occupied on the surface forces are getting released, reduced. So therefore, the difference of surface energy is liberated into the surrounding. Okay, so this is called heat of adsorption. So better the heat of adsorption, X by delta G. Better the heat of adsorption, more negative the enthalpy or heat of adsorption, more negative the process of adsorption. Okay, so delta S is a negative for adsorption. So this minus of minus becomes a plus. So if this becomes a positive parameter, delta H should be very high negative in order to make delta G negative. So therefore, the process will be, adsorption process will be feasible. Okay, and in the next class, let us learn about various types of adsorption isotherm and then Langmuir's adsorption isotherm. Okay, so before you come to the next session, you must prepare the lessons taught so far. Okay, right from the definition to the factors influencing adsorption. So that will help you to better understand the subject. And during this pandemic period, we are in a position to conduct you these online classes. I know that this cannot be as equal to your regular classes, although in order to equip you, in order to teach you the subject, we are organizing this. But I feel that there is a lack of interaction between you and me. You can post questions, whatever doubts or questions you have in your mind, you can post the questions in the comment box in the Google Classroom and get clarified your doubts. So I'm very much happy to interact with you on the Google Classroom platform after this session. Okay, so only if you give me your feedback and a level of understanding through the comments, I'll be knowing how much you have understood the subject or whether I have to continue with the same tone or I have to improve better. Okay, so I hope you will be giving me the feedback. Thank you very much, students. Let us see you in the next class.